She said it in front of everyone. Her voice cracked, but her anger didn't. "Mom, you ruined my life." The words hit the dinner table like glass breaking. Silence followed, the kind that tastes metallic, like blood between your teeth. I looked at her, at my daughter, at the woman I raised from nothing but silence, hunger, and fear. And I smiled. Not because it didn't hurt, but because it finally made sense, the way truth always does when it's about to cut through flesh. The guests looked away. My son-in-law tried to laugh it off. My husband, her father, didn't even blink. He just kept chewing, as if this wasn't the moment our family had been rotting toward for years. I didn't reply, because I had learned long ago that words only make you weaker when you're surrounded by liars. She stormed off. The door slammed. The sound lingered, hollow and final. And I sat there, holding the edge of the table, feeling the faint tremor in my fingers. Not from anger, but from restraint. Because tonight wasn't about defense. It was about revelation. And she had no idea, no faintest clue that she had just lit the match I'd been hiding for years. It started 2 years ago. A perfume that wasn't mine on my husband's collar, a new phone password, a softness in his tone that had nothing to do with me anymore. I didn't confront him. I've never been the kind of woman who screams. Screaming gives them power. Silence builds it. Then one day, I noticed my daughter, my beautiful, trusting daughter, was growing distant. Her messages became shorter. Her eyes avoided mine. She told me she was busy, that marriage was difficult, that her husband worked late. But she smiled too quickly when she said his name, and she looked guilty when I said her father's. I brushed it away, until I saw the photo, a reflection caught in the mirror behind her husband, a familiar face in the background, my husband's. At first, I thought I was mistaken. I wanted to be, but denial is a sweet poison, and I had swallowed it too many times before. That night, when my husband crawled into bed beside me, I could smell her perfume again. Not just any perfume, my daughter's perfume. I lay there, staring at the ceiling, my body still, my mind unraveling. Some betrayals are so unnatural, they make you doubt your own senses. I didn't cry. Crying was for the woman I used to be. Instead, I began to remember every late night, every business trip, every conversation he changed when I entered the room. It wasn't just infidelity. It was desecration. I didn't confront either of them. Not yet. I began to collect moments instead. Small, invisible truths. A phone bill printed in the middle of the night. A lipstick stain on a coffee cup. Not mine, not hers. Ours. A hotel receipt tucked inside his jacket, dated the same weekend my daughter had claimed she was visiting friends. I was calm, mechanical, precise. During dinners, I would watch them. The glances, the small hesitations, the way silence grew thick whenever the three of us were in the same room. Sometimes she'd laugh too loudly at his jokes. Sometimes he'd correct her too gently. And sometimes she would touch his hand as if she had forgotten who was watching. They thought they were discreet. They thought I was blind, too absorbed in my aging body, my fading usefulness, my silence. But silence is a weapon, and I've always been good with knives. I made copies of everything: phone logs, receipts, photographs. I even planted a recording device in the car he once bought for her safety. The tape played one night while I sat alone in my room, the rain pressing against the window like a confession trying to get in. Her voice soft and trembling, his low and certain. She'll never know. She's your mother. Then she'll understand. Understand. The word echoed until it turned hollow. That was the night I decided I would never understand, and I would never forgive. 3 months later, I invited them both for dinner. The table was set: candles, wine, white linen, the kind of dinner that feels like peace, but smells like closure. My daughter arrived first, her hair perfectly arranged, her smile fragile. My husband followed, pretending exhaustion, pretending affection. We ate in silence. The air was thick with unspoken things. Then I slid the envelope across the table. No words, just the sound of paper meeting wood. My husband looked at me. My daughter looked away. Inside were photographs, printed messages, and the recording transcribed in neat, cold lines. She froze. He swallowed hard, his throat clicking like a trigger being pulled. She tried to speak. "Mom, Don't," I said. The single word cut through her voice like glass through silk. I stood, gathered the plates, and walked toward the kitchen. Behind me, silence. The kind that comes when lies finally run out of air.
The next morning, I left early. Not running away, just walking out of a graveyard that once looked like home. They called. I didn't answer. A week later, I sent the same envelope to her husband, my son-in-law. No letter, no explanation. Just truth. By the end of the month, she moved back to our house, alone. My husband packed his things quietly, like a thief leaving after the alarm goes off. He tried to speak before leaving. "Why didn't you say anything earlier?" I looked at him, the man who had shared my life, my bed, my bloodline's corruption, and I said quietly, "Because I wanted you both to believe you were winning." He left, and I finally exhaled. It's been 6 months. My daughter still avoids my eyes. She tries to make breakfast sometimes to fill the silence between us, but there is silences that cannot be filled, only endured. I watch her move around the kitchen, and I wonder what it feels like to live knowing the person you betrayed didn't destroy you. She simply let you destroy yourself. Sometimes she catches me smiling. She doesn't understand why. That smile isn't forgiveness. It's survival. Because she still thinks she hurt me. She doesn't realize she freed me. I lost a husband, yes, but I also buried the woman who needed him. And now when I look in the mirror, I see someone new. Someone dangerous in her quiet. Someone alive. Final line, I didn't ruin her life. I just stopped protecting her from the truth.